This is World Awakenings, the fast track to enlightenment with your host, Carl Gruber. World Awakenings is a podcast dedicated to opening your mind, your heart, and your eyes to the fact that the world's population is now, more than ever, awakening to all things metaphysical and spiritual, and just how they play an all-important role in our daily life. So join Carl on this enlightening experience as he interviews metaphysical and spiritual experts to discuss, debate, and delve deeply into the hows and whys of this worldwide awakening.
We welcome you to the World Awakenings podcast. Before we start, we'd like to tell you about a special ebook written by the show's host, Carl Gruber. The 3 Pillars, a simple 3-step process to manifest positive and permanent change in your life. The concise 32-page 3 Pillars ebook will teach you how to become a successful and consistent co-creator of your life path with the law of attraction. Yes, you can manifest the life you truly desire, and the ebook is absolutely free. Simply go to Carl's website, carlgruberlifecoach.com. That's KARLGRUBER lifecoach.com. Click on the header title About Me and get the free download today. Carl Gruber's free ebook, The 3 Pillars, will positively change your life.
Hey, hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the podcast World Awakenings, the fast track to enlightenment. And those of you who are familiar with the show know that one of my favorite quotes from A Course in Miracles is, "There is no order of difficulty in miracles." And that is most definitely true with this episode number 27. Folks, believe me, I may be in over my head on this one, but after my 20 plus years in broadcasting, I'm just going to go for it, and we are blessed. I mean, truly blessed to have 2 of the most amazing, beautiful beings of light and love with us today, Christy Whitman and Christina Hill. Ladies, welcome to World Awakenings.
Thank you, Carl, for having us.
Thank you so much, gosh.
Thank you, Carl. The world is truly awakening.
Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about that a little bit more. We've got a lot to talk about here, too. Well, and also before we go into it, I just found out that this is the first time these 2 ladies have done a podcast interview with a host. And believe me, I'm so grateful for that. So I'm going to do a little introduction, a little bit more extensive about Christy here. Let me change this here. There we go. So Christy Whitman, and I'll be full disclosure on this one. Christy is the lady who, through her Quantum Success Coaching Academy, certified me, all the way back in 2012. It's been 8 years as a certified attraction life coach with her program called the Quantum Success Coaching Academy. And, I could climb through the screen and ask for an autograph right now. I'm like a groupie. But you are one of my heroes. But Christy is amazing. For over 15 years, and before channeling the council, Christy was a transformational leader, celebrity coach, law of attraction expert, as well as a 2-time New York Times bestselling author with The Art of Having It All and Taming Your Alpha Bitch. I always loved that title. That was great. And has appeared on the Today Show, The Morning Show, TEDx, the Hallmark Channel, and her work has been featured in media and multiple other publications. She's been featured on Goldcast, People Magazine, 17, Women's Magazine, Hollywood Life, and Teen Vogue. And on top of that now, and I just found this out myself a few months ago, Christy is now the channel for the Council, the spiritual mentors here to spread the message of quantum energy mastery. And Christy and the Council teach classes, meditations, and provide private sessions to help clients feel more aligned with their divine design as well-being, abundance, success, and loving and supportive relationships. Christy, thank you again. Thank you so much for coming on World Awakenings.
Geez, I love that introduction. Thank you. And
I stole it right from your website.
Well, I'm just saying that before you read my bio introduction, I appreciate that. And it's been amazing to watch you grow and expand and yeah, so
and you too, you definitely have grown and expanded, especially now that your friends have joined you, the council.
yes.
Me and the audience, how did it come about that you're still deeply involved with the law of attraction as a teacher and everything? How did it come about that you joined up with the council?
Well, it's been a progression. My very first book came through me as just a divine download. And that's what started me on this whole track of becoming a published author and then starting to speak on the contents of the book. And then people started asking me to coach. And it was through sessions with coaching that all of a sudden I would get a message or I would hear something or my hands would involuntarily go up and I would start feeling the energy of the person and they would, go, "Hey, did you just put your hands on my neck?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and I can't put my hands down. So it was leaning into all of that and really coming out of the closet kind of being, I'm an energy healer, right? And really just saying yes to each progression in each part. And when I'm given what I call an assignment, right? The Quantum Success Coaching Academy was an assignment. Other things that I've done, books have been an assignment. I was given an assignment to create a healing space for people that show up once a week. And we just, start going through their blocks and, what kind of comes up in the moment and what they need to be healed through the sacred circle of light. And it was then that instead of hearing such a clear message and seeing and, all that, it was like when both of my kids are talking to me at the same time where I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I can't, it's not clear, right? It felt like 9 of them were talking to me. And all of a sudden my consciousness went out and I could have sworn that my entire body went over the chair because I was there listening, but I thought I was slumped over. And when I got the recording back of that particular day, I was not even, you see me, I'm Italian. I, talk with my hands. I was very stoic. My voice changed. The information that was coming through was not what I speak. And it was just astonishing to see that and to witness that. And what's funny is when I got the recording back, it was on September 17th, 2018. And that's my son's birthday. September 17th, Maxim, who we were talking about before we started the recording. And so it's just a leaning in and opening up each and every time. That's what transformation's about, right? It's leaning into the light, letting go of the old stories, letting go of the old imprints. And as I've become more of light filled in my own life, I'm more of a vibrational match to be able to receive them.
I was going to say, when all of a sudden a group of etheric beings start to channel through you, I would think you would initially be afraid, but simply because of what you know and understand and teach, it's like an epiphany, yeah?
Well, yeah, I mean, my teachers have always been channeled beings. I mean, I started out 25 years ago learning meditations and learning light body through Orrin and Da Ben, who are channeled by Sanea Roman and Wayne Packer. I mean, those are my initial teachers. So for me, when I came into woo-woo, it was like full out. It wasn't just a little bit, right? It was like full on, these are my teachers, they're channeled. I didn't quite understand that, and then I got trained to do that through seeing them live. And then of course came in contact with Abraham Hicks and, love Esther and love their teachings and have been on many cruises and workshops. And so, I was so accustomed to receiving information from channeled beings, even such like Christina channeling Athella. And for me, there's such a deep spiritual recognition within me where I can feel the truth of the channeling coming through, the light coming through, that I'm more attracted to that than, and I'm more aligned with that than someone just teaching, right? So it makes sense for me. I don't question it. It just makes sense. And of course I would be a channel. And it's funny because my very first meditation teacher, one of the first sessions I had with her when I was having these deep openings, all of a sudden she, also a channeler, said to me, she goes, "You're a channeler." And back then, 25 years ago, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't even know what that means. I'm a channeler. And after it happened, I'm like, oh my gosh, Melanie said that. So 25 years ago,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
So,
And I can see now when the council comes in, Frederick, your husband's gone, uh-oh, Christy's gone woo-woo again.
no, he loves it. He's like, can I ask the council a question? I feel stuck on something. So he's, he's right there with me on it. He's amazing.
Well, we've got a lot to talk about again. Let's come back to Christina right now. And again, just phenomenal. Another amazing, beautiful being of light and love. And Christina, I also stole your intro from your website, so if you don't mind me telling you this. Christina Hill is a manifesting coach and a world-renowned channeler who climbed the ladder of her own spiritual ascension through deep suffering and trauma, or as she calls it, moving from darkness to light. I like that part. From childhood, Christina was able to communicate with non-physical beings and had many other psychic gifts. Her past includes everything from addictions to homelessness, disease, and sexual abuse. And if that's not enough, she had a near-death encounter that allowed her to receive divine messages from Ascended Master Athella. And now she partners with Athella to bring healing and divine guidance to clients around the globe. And again, welcome, Christina. That's, wow, to quote a Grateful Dead rock song, what a long, strange trip it's been, huh?
I deeply believe, dear Carl, we are beyond all of the labels and the titles. We really are. When we drop out of all of that, we are just beings right now showing up in the here and now. So even just hearing you say that, I feel it's almost a distancing or a detachment feeling of all of that, because I also went to Carnegie Hall. I was with Deepak and with some other world leaders and Michael Beckwith, and I've done movies and aliens and angels, and then there comes a moment where it's a realization, right, that we're truly energetic beings and we're really fulfilled in this now moment, and we can just drop away from all of the storyline and titles, etc., etc. And I find that is a very sacred space to be in, right? It's just showing up right here with clear energy and in service to Athella, which is exactly what called us to do this tango dance today. So I feel very honored. Yes, yeah. Yes.
Well,
yes.
Let me ask you, I am curious, and I'm sure that our viewers and listeners are, could you, or would you care to elaborate a little bit about that near-death experience? What happened and how did it come about? Did that prompt Athella to come and join with you?
Well, no, again, like Christy, this was a progression for me, and I had many dark nights of the soul leading up to meeting Athella. I was just on my couch one day and was doing some really deep past life regression work, and that was my entering into Athella. I thought I had passed out of my body then, but the near-death experience that I had was really an encounter touching the light in childhood. And I did that in my sleep. That was just something that happened where I just simply passed out of my body. And I was shown the way that things really work and what we're made up of. And I was also shown the child being that I had visited from before. This is a child that I met her parents, and I was called to go meet her parents and tell them about, her child and how her child passed to the light. And so that was that encounter. That was in my childhood. It made me realize, too, that there was something very different about this thing called my life, that I was going to ascend and be something beyond just the regular human experiences, whatever that means. I knew, though, that from a very early age, that this was all leading to something. Very much like Christy, I had a mentor say to me that I was a songbird or a channeler, and I had no idea what channeling was. No idea, and really didn't care to know. So it wasn't until I met Athella that day, laying on my couch, that everything shifted and changed. It was never the same after that. But again, this is all storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just feel really called, Carl, as we just go right into the here and now space and the formless realm that we can sit in. We can feel that energy now. I certainly feel Athella tapping and kind of calling in and saying,
Well, let me, before we have your friends come in, I mentioned to you earlier, I'm going to ask you both as Christina and Christy, the one question I ask every guest that has been on this show. Why now do you think that more than ever, the population of the world is awakening to all things enlightening, more than any time ever before in humanity?
Christina, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go?
I'm going to be very honest with you, Carl. I don't know why that would be important to ask. And I'll tell you why. Because I feel that we are in such immediacy, needing the love energy, the healing vibration, that I would much rather spend my energy on that than answer that question. And there's no offense at all. It's with love I say this. However, I feel the more that we're talking, then I feel like we're percolating on topics that really don't provide the healing that I know that your listeners are going to receive today. So I just want to say that first. And secondly, I love your energy and your enthusiasm. We need you to be on this podcast to continue what you're doing, because it draws forth that craving, that desire for healing. People are going to come and see it. They're going to listen to it. And they're going to engage with it. But beyond the mind, honestly, beyond the mind, I just see us as immediately, we need to move into a state of love and grace, get into that vibrational field that's more 5D, that's more elevated than where we are right now. And we need it now.
And
we need it today.
I think we really feel exactly what you're talking about. So, well, no offense on that. I really appreciate what you said. Christy, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yes, there's just more people that are awakened and then bringing more light to the planet, like Christina is saying, where it's like it is an immediate need. And when that happens, there has to be a counterbalance. There has to be an awakening. And so, we saw it years ago, right? When The Secret kind of was a wave, where it was a wave of people awakening. Now it's a different kind of a wave. It's not like a movie that made people go, woo, wow, it's possibility. It's now, this is an amplification time where we have a choice to either stay in our pain bodies, to stay in the darkness, or to move into light, but we can't stay as we were.
Right.
Okay.
So true.
Very
well said.
Yeah, thank you for
taking
the time to do that. Well, if you two are ready, if you want to bring your friends in, and we'll continue from here. Christy channels the council, and Christina with Athella, an ascended master. So bring them on in.
Yeah, let the light in.
Yes.
We are here. Hello, dear one. Thank you for inviting us to be with you in this configuration. We're always delighted to hook if we had arms, to hook up with Athella, our friend.
Syrian blue light to you, Council, and Christy, the personality, and Carl, your soul and spirit, and to everyone listening. Syrian blue ray light.
Thank you, my friends. We are beyond blessed to have you join us here today. So grateful that you have decided to come and talk to us and help humanity here. I truly believe that the people that will benefit from watching and listening to our chat today is going to be beyond human understanding, perhaps some of your holographic understanding. You know a little better than we do, but I'm not going to mess around. I do have a couple questions that we would like to, so that we could have a nice discussion. Of course, now during the crisis throughout the entire world right now, many call it the pandemic. I call it the fear-demic, but my friend Maureen Muldoon from my last episode calls it the love-demic. How do we move right now? How can humanity move from fear into love?
Athella, do you want to talk first?
Thank you for passing the baton to us, and we shall pass it back to you. Moving from fear into love. Notice that when Athella speaks, it's an activation that you can actively feel, not just words. Allow yourself to feel the field of low frequency, the fear. It's okay. It's okay to sit with the fear. And now allow yourself to feel love. Love. Maybe an image will arise as we say the word love. That vibration is quite different. To answer your question, simply feel more love throughout your day. Attune to love. Do all that you can to build an atmosphere of love, first with the self, your personality, your human self. And then this love will spread out. It doesn't mean that fear energy won't arise. The fear will come. Yes, it will. The fear is here to help us to move up, to float upwards towards love. We can sit with the fear. We can recognize it. We don't need to run. You don't need to run. You're all safe. It is safe. It is safe to be alive in this human experience. Please note that as you sit with the fear and you move into love energy, you may have to do this often throughout your day. Eventually, you will attune to love frequency, and there are many helpers, celestial beings that are helping you to do this. Alone doesn't exist. You know this. Now you're in the company of friends, outer-galactic beings, masters that can help you with an aerial view. So listen and feel as you are moving now into the frequency of love. Divine Council, what can you share?
We do take the baton, and we are grateful for the foundation that you just expressed, and more importantly, the healing energy and the frequency that was activated in everyone. So thank you, dear Athella. We bring it down to that human experience. You all are energy, and there are ways that you process or don't energy. And if you really know who you are as a vessel of light, of a really a conduit of light, of the divine that is breathing each one of you, and you attune to exactly what Athella was saying, that love, that adoration, that is the flow of love from you to you, and you learn how to master your energy. Fear is an energy. Fear is a thought. Fear is an emotion. It is an energetic vibration. In fear is a choice. You all have been given a power, and this power, you have many powers. This one power that starts all the powers to ignite, like keys in a vault that just start the whole entire process, is free will. Free will and choice. And you have the choice to stay in the energy, the thought form, the words you speak, the emotions of fear, or you can move in the direction of what you want to experience and what you want to create. And it starts with your third eye. It starts with your faith portal. You cannot not have faith in something. You're either having faith in the doom and gloom of what the news and social media and the neighbors and everybody else, you're either having faith in the ending of the world or the catastrophic things that could happen, or you're having faith in the divine that is beyond form, that is beyond reasoning, that is beyond logic, that is life, and that is always on your side looking out for you. And there is your moment as human being in that choicefulness of where to put your focus. And as you are focusing, like Athella said, on the love that is available to you in this now moment, that love vibration can heal the pain body, can heal the places where you automatically react and come from a place of fear. Fear is not who you are. Being in fear is one of those emotions that are important for humans to experience. For you all have emotions that are given to you as a human being, whether it is guilt or fear or anger. These are important gifts that you have. But as you are aware of what a situation brings to you, and you can sit with your own personal emotion and let it be informing and communication to you, and you are allowed to move beyond it to bring in the love or the safety or the fulfillment or whatever energy you want to experience, you then can take action from that shifted place. Your human body is energy. Everything in the universe is energy. You have trillions of cells in your body that have receptor sites in them that have to be filled with energy. And if you're not deliberately filling up with the love of the divine that's breathing you, that's always there, you never have to go buy it, you never get it replaced, it never runs out, you don't have to take it from anybody else, it's yours and yours alone, flowing to you freely, constantly, always, infinitely. And when you say to the divine in you, fill me with this love vibration or joy or success or abundance or well-being, whatever your energy du jour is that you choose, because you are the deliberate chooser, you are the one in free will. When you fill up with it, those little receptor sites get filled, and you then are not knocked off by the mass consciousness energy or the default energy or the energy that is happening around you, because you have chosen with your own free will where you want to live and be. This is how you move from a lower level vibration, such as fear in your question, dear Carl, to a higher vibration, highest vibration of love. And love, dear ones, from a vibrational place is not love as far as humans understand. It is not a do this for me and then I will love you, or if you be this way. It's not conditional. The love is free-flowing, no matter how many perceived mistakes you've made, no matter how many times you've judged somebody, or you were nasty or mean to somebody, or times that you were not showing up fully, or the times that you were condemning. This love from your divine self, regardless of what your past is free-flowing. It's always now, and it's always positive.
Well, I love the fact that you have pointed out that in this world where so many people have a victim mentality, don't realize that they have the free will and the choice to choose love. And I'm so grateful that you both pointed that out. That is so important. So, so with that, how do we release any resistance or negativity going on right now about the world, and of course what all the chaos is going on throughout planet Earth right now?
Well, we just said that.
Yes.
Really, it is being aware of not the resistance that is outside, because you cannot control what everybody on social media or everybody in the media, or even what your neighbor is thinking, or what your mother or mother-in-law or whomever. You can only take responsibility for your own energy mastery. You can only take responsibility for your own body. There are 5 ways that you as humans send out energy. And that is by the words that you speak, the thoughts that you think, the perspective, or some call beliefs that you have, expectations you have, your emotions, and then the actions that you take. These are ways, if you are receiving in the energy, then how do you give off the energy is from those 5 elements. These are how to be energy master. So if your thoughts are running around in fear, it's going to ignite your emotions, which then your emotions ignite the fear. And then because it is an attraction-based universe, not an assertion-based universe, you will start to see evidence of things that match up. Your neighbor will say, I have this and I have that, or somebody else will say, this happened to me. And then you're sitting there going, see, it's true. And then it becomes a belief. And then you take action or non-action based on that belief. All of it is still at your choosing. And when you feel the resistance, whatever the resistance may be, it is you, dear ones, that have the, again, free will and choice to understand that it is energy. It is not real, it is not solidified, it is energy. And when you start to play with the energy and imagine surrendering the energy over and bring in the energy that you do want, you're now shifting. It is like if you have a cup of water and it's bad, murky water. You cannot continue to fill up the cup because there's stuff in there. The resistance is there. You must pour out the water to get new water in there. And as you keep pouring it out, as you keep saying, I surrender this, I'm releasing this resistance, dear divine, take this from me and add more light. This is one way of releasing resistance. We know Athella has much to say on this too.
Non-verbally, telepathically, you know that you are a child of light without any words. Each day, sitting quietly, calming the mind, letting your emotions calm. You call this meditation. It allows you to return to your innocence. The whole of this planet could be summed up by saying, the mind has gone wild. Mind gone wild. The thoughts and the images and then the energy, all of this is a dynamic movement. And as the Council says, you may choose. You can choose where you will direct your focus, a remedy or the medicine for releasing the resistance is to start with precious present moment. You are a child of light. Quieting your mind, quieting the pain body, the emotions every day, just for a little while. This will allow you to develop a relationship with yourself. Why do you think all of this is happening? It's allowing you to come home. You are coming home. It's time for you to be with yourself, to see. To be aware, it requires clarity. And if the mind is in a storm, the mind is gone wild, you cannot see. You are simply reacting. Return home. And sitting quietly, you can do this. You can sit quietly with yourself and simply breathe. Returning to your light innocence. Listening to this podcast multiple times is also the way to immerse yourself in the truth. You are energy. You are in a human body for a little while. That's just a form. Your energy, it's vast. Your energy is beyond fear. Your energy is beyond all of the thinking, all of the thoughts. So Athella asks that you touch that energy daily. Use this resistance, this fear, the trembling that is going on. Use it to come home.
I am so glad that you pointed out, Athella, that there's a reason this is all happening. And you're right. You're right about getting a chance now to get to know ourselves. And I do a daily meditation, as so many millions of people do. And it is time. I like the way you put it, that it's time to get in touch with your innocence. And we have all forgot that the world at this point in time doesn't seem to remember anything about innocence. And the other thing, if you'll allow me to just elaborate a little bit more, is the fact that you are exactly right. I've known since a child, as so many people, that, yeah, there's something inside of me that is more. There is a light within me, and it's nice to finally have beings like you and Christy and Christina to come around to help us remember that. Thank you. Thank you. It's beautiful. By the way, my cat Maya has joined me down here, and she I think she feels your energy. So if you hear some meowing.
Yes. Welcome, Maya.
Hi, Maya. Anyway, thank you for being nice about that. The other thing I would like to ask, everybody is afraid of each other right now in this pandemic. We're afraid of other people. We're wearing masks and everything. How can we feel protected right now while everyone seems to be just going a little crazy?
Well, we would say not everyone. Not everyone is afraid of other people. Not everyone is having the same experience. It is important to understand that everyone is on the planet at this time experiencing what you would all call a pandemic or a lockdown or COVID or whatever you want to call it. But with that universal, which you dear one know, universal laws, each person has their own unique experience of it. And so not everyone is in a space of fear, but everyone does choose their own experience of it. And understand that what is happening right now and what has been what our explanation has been since the very beginning, because Christy's funny, she comes to us and says, what gives counsel? What's happening? Why is this going on? And we told her from the very beginning, as we tell all of those amazing beings that come to us for questions and energy healings and things of this nature, that this is an amplification time for each one of you. And what is being amplified inside of you is a gift. As Athella was saying, a return to your divine wholeness, the releasing of separation and the coming back to unity. But for one person, think about it, their life situation they feel lonely in their life. And now they go into a quarantine where they are by themselves completely. And they cannot be with another human being. So what is being amplified for them is the places where they are cut off from themselves. If they are dominantly feeling lonely, then they are going to be required to heal what's coming from inside of them, which is that loneliness feeling. And it's an opportunity to heal that. For somebody else, you have people on the planet that are in a marriage or in a relationship living with someone that they don't much like. And now here they are locked down with someone that they don't enjoy. And it's a awareness, they've been feeling it for a long time. What's being amplified from within them is they don't want to be married to this person or be in a relationship with this person anymore. But now it's in their face. They cannot deny it. They cannot not look at it. For someone else, it might be money or finances. Or for somebody else, it might be well-being. We give you example. Christy, since the very beginning, knows that she is absolutely in a place of well-being. There's no question that if she was to get the virus, she would easily fight it off. Her body would do what it needed to do. And yet she also was so detached from it that if it was time for her to go and be back into non-physical, she would just be back into non-physical positive energy. But to live her life in a place of fear about it and to not experience the joy that's available in this moment, that is not an option for her. So whatever is being amplified within each individual is truly a gift to look at, because it is the thing that has been limiting you. It is the thing that has been preventing you from having the greater life that you want, or the manifestations. People say, oh, law of attraction doesn't work, or it doesn't work for me, or why am I having manifestation failures? There's no manifestation failures, and law of attraction is working for you all the time. It's just you're not aware of what is happening that is caused in separation or lack. And here's an opportunity to go, oh, was not aware that I was that lonely, or that I was that much in lack financially, or that I was that terrified of being out of well-being. Now that I'm aware of it, now I have free will and choice, and I can shift it.
Yes. Oh, yes. Powerful, poignant energy pause. Let us let this energy waft for a moment. What the council has shared, it must be wafted through the air, through the ether. It matters not the beliefs of 5 minutes ago, or years, if you have been carrying them for years. You have choice in the point of power in this moment. As you become aware, you can choose to shift immediately. And life supports you. Life will continue to say yes and nod and give to you more of what you believe, what you are projecting. Life will match you in your energy field. And you can choose now to vibrate in well-being. You can choose harmony. You can hold this love of your brothers and sisters, the community. You can hold the vibration of healing, global healing, as you go out and venture out into your day. You can become aware that you have been in lack, limitation, and instantly, right in that moment, shift and change into a vibration of I have all that I need. Universe is supplying. I am an opulent being. For those that say it doesn't work, it's not possible, please look now to these two magnificent women who have changed, even when dire circumstances, seemingly very, very challenging, difficult circumstances, would have most people giving up. It is possible to change and to hold within the consciousness that you wish to see in your hologram without. Please remember, humans, you are mighty creators. The hologram you see is an outpicturing of what you are thinking and feeling and believing and projecting. Hologram, it's being designed by you. Let that waft through the air a little bit.
I love that. I love the wafting through the air of love, and that's beautiful. You know, you are so right in that this time where so many people have time by themselves. I told Christy earlier on this before we even started doing this podcast that myself, as an example, and I know I'm not the only one, the last few months, I have not had this long of a time of peace and prosperity and deep inner reflection for a long time. And my sense of well-being has just risen up so high. And I think that's the classic silver lining in a dark cloud, you know, that we are finding out, and so many people are finding out on an individual basis. And thank you for the beautiful insight on that. So,
but Carl, we would
yes.
like to say one more thing in honoring you and all of the people that listen to your podcast, because it is you that has, for the last many years, prepared yourself for a time such as this.
Mm-hmm.
And think about it.
Yes, absolutely.
The awakening time that you had is the awakening time for many right now. They can either awaken or they can go back further down into pain body. Always their choice, no judgment from the divine that breathes them. The divine obviously wants the best for them and wants to see them into the light that they are. But again, free will, human choice, you can only co-create from the consciousness that you are at. And you can only accept where you want to go from the consciousness that you are at. But it is when you evoke in and invite your divine self from a place of pain or a place of curiosity or a place of faith, whatever the place may be. Understand, though, that cracking open of the egg where the duckling comes out, or the cocoon where the butterfly flies out, this is opportunity now for many that were not aware, not ready, and now they are. Whereas you were many years ago, it is now other people's time. And it is because people like yourself that have done that work, you are holding that. It's a counterbalance of energy, of light versus the dark.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, thank you for that. Well, I do, you know, I'm going to keep you going. I know Athella and the council aren't hooked up to time, but Christy and Christina are, so I'm not going to keep them too long. But one beautiful thing I really do want to ask, you know, we know as light masters, you know, light teachers, light bodies, that everything is energy. How do we become energy masters, and what exactly does that mean?
Well, we talked about it. This is the main teaching that we came to teach through Christy. And we created a whole experience with humans called courses. We don't like it because it really is an experience of returning home. But it is understanding first who you are and what you come from, and who and what is breathing you, and understand that what is beating your heart and what is pulsating the blood through your body is your divine. It is not, this is your life partner, not the person you share your bed with or the one you one day want to. Your life partner is your life. And understanding that this partner is also your protector, it's your provider, it's your source of everything, whether it's support or love or abundance or success or creative self-expression or well-being. It is the source of all things that are good. And this part designed you to thrive and to feel good. So when you can understand and start to feel the polarity of personality and then the other side of the coin, non-physical, when you can learn how to merge and live as a co-creative unit, you are then in the vicinity of being able to be the energy master, understanding where your source comes from, and then bringing it into your apparatus, your own personal physical body with your own unique skills and attributes and characteristics and looks and feels and experiences and conditioning, all that is unique to you, the diversity of it all. And to be able to then transmit that energy of source through your beingness as that co-creator, holding that. You bring in energy, but it is holding it in the containment. And your container is what sends out the energy through the words you speak. Very, very creative, the words that you speak, the thoughts that you are engaged in, the perspective, the beliefs, the emotions, and how you take action with your physical body. These are ways that you send out energy waves out. And what you then send out, it gathers up other things, people, situations like this. This is law of attraction at its best. But the energy is a flowing in from source, not from other people's situations. It is coming from source. It is keeping it for yourself. So you get to feel love inside of your body or joy inside of your body as you drive your car, as you read a book, as you are making love, as you are working out, as you are walking your dog, so that you're experiencing that level of joy in all activities, as you are relating with other people, as you are balancing your checkbook, as you are teaching, as you are coaching, as you are doing whatever activity, holding that. And then those waves go out. And then what comes back is more like Athella was talking about, the hologram of more evidence, of clients, of money, of support, of love, of friends, of fun experiences. Dear ones, this is how you become energy master. You master your energy instead of being mastered by conditions and circumstances and relationships and good opinions of others and people pleasing, getting out of the drama triangle, not playing the role of a victim or a persecutor or a rescuer, but coming from alignment always as your commitment, where your allegiance is, where you are under the influence of your divine and nothing more.
Calm mind, calm body, clear energy.
Put that on a bumper sticker.
Yes.
Yes. All right, I like that.
Drop down underneath the noise of the thoughts. Go down a little further. There are feelings there. Okay, maybe there is past that you're feeling. Maybe there is, what am I going to do 5 minutes from now or today? What about this bill or this situation? Go beneath that. We're going subterraneous, dropping down as though you were floating down to the seafloor bed at the bottom of the ocean. Let yourself calm. Let all of the sand settle to where it is just you breathing, looking up to the surface of the ocean and noticing the brain activity is happening at the surface. You are quite at some distance from your thoughts and feelings. You are realizing, feeling your own energy. If you can but allow yourself to quiet, to stabilize, to make friends with the present moment and feel your energy, you are in a prime spot to control your energy, to direct it, and to not get caught up in the games of the mind. To be story-free, imagine that. Beyond the stories of your past, your future, free, clear energy and a calm mind. If it seems too guru-ish, that's not the case. That's another trick of the mind. Invite yourself to sit down for a cup of tea and listen to Carol's podcast. This podcast, very special. Each podcast is. In this case, you can develop and generate the feelings of your own energy, your innocence. In essence, everything you need is inside of you, and you are coming home. By simply doing this, it's a non-doing. You are feeling what it feels like to be one with your own energy.
I have to say that this has been some of the most practical, beautiful explanation of mastering your own energy to find peace. And I will tell you that at the start of this podcast, I was very nervous, and just talking with you and listening to your beautiful explanations, I feel very peaceful. Thank you so much for that. And I know I'm not the only one. I really appreciate it. If you will allow me, I have one little other question. You may or may not choose to answer this, but I have a question about judgment. And during these chaotic times on earth, especially whatever is going on, most people I'm sure find themselves with many, many judgmental thoughts. How do we overcome the ego's desire to judge something or someone to find peace and love?
The mind wants to say, from a very concrete, childlike, very unconscious, let's call it that, very concrete, up, down, left, right, good, wrong, right, wrong, good, bad type of thing. So when they see something or they hear something, they need to go into a judgment of good or bad. Now, judgment, once again, like all of the emotions that you've been bestowed as a human being, is important. It's important to see some things going on, and whether it's walking down a dark alley at midnight in a bad neighborhood, you need your judgment to say, probably not the best idea for me, probably not the safest. I am not going to go turn down that road. So judgment is very useful. Where the brain or the mind takes it is saying, that person has that opinion, she's wrong, or she's crazy, labeling and putting out a judgment of that person's mean, or that person is this. You can replace judgment with compassion, with trying to be understanding and focusing on compassion, because understand that from a judgment of labeling someone or judging them to be right or wrong or left or right or up or down or whatever it is, you're it's an excuse for you to get out of alignment with your own divine self that does not judge them. People come from either a place of alignment or misalignment. And some people that are aligned might see someone misaligned and then look at them and say, well, they're stupid or lazy or wrong or this or that. And as soon as that aligned person notices someone that is out of alignment and then judges, they then get out of alignment. Mm-hmm. But if the person that's in alignment can look at someone that's having a hard time, that is stuck in their pain body, and show them compassion, now you are still in alignment with your divine self. Your heart can remain open and you can send love and compassion to that person. It is, dear one, what you coach on, what you learn through the Coaching Academy on the law of allowing. Mm-hmm. They are allowed to have their own opinion. They are allowed, and must be, having their own consciousness. But as long as you are solidified in your own and your own alignment, then they cannot affect you. It is where someone says something and it evokes a fear in you that you went to then judge them. But understand that the reaction is within you. And you always have a choice to go into judgment, making yourself right so you feel safe, or you can go into compassion and allowing to, okay, they can have that experience, but I'm going to stay here. I like it here. Mm.
Noticing the judgment, direct your attention inward. You might ask yourself as the judgment arises, what is happening inside of me? That simple question will point you back home. Often, we will find it that there is a judgment about ourselves. There is some curriculum or some kind of mind activity or story that is triggered and is wanting to come up. It comes up through the form of a judgment. Generally, the judgments come from the suffering. The individual is suffering. Maybe you don't see it that way in the moment, but if you look deeply, you will see there is suffering at the very root of every judgment. Just by noticing the pattern of judging, just by being aware, that is the dissolution of it. That is the way through it. Notice, oh, here I am judging. Just that. The energy of love is looking for you. It will find you. In the moment that you realize you are judging, or perhaps you are being judged, that awareness is not separate from love energy. Your awareness is the energy of love, you see, because you are an energy being of love. Very important to note, as the Council says, the judgments, you were not born with these judgments. As a baby, you did not have these judgments. No, they come from the mind. Therefore, moving into your awareness, the love comes in, then you will notice a releasing of that pattern, a release of the energy around the judgment. Try it out and see, just see what happens.
Great advice on how to stem the flow of the monkey mind, the human monkey mind, and Athella, all I know is when we're done with this podcast, I'm going to be walking around and there's going to be love wafting around everywhere. I love it. It's a great image. And it's
Let the love waft.
Yeah, it is true. I love it. So, my beautiful friends, oh my gosh, World Awakenings, a fast track to enlightenment, is so blessed to have you two on here. And again, I know you know this yourself, but so much good is going to come to the people that watch and listen to today's beautiful wisdom and light. And the light workers of the world, despite what the world seems to be going through, the light workers have come together and are rising to the occasion, like Christy and Christina and myself and so many others, because it needs it now. It needs this love to waft around the entire globe and through the universe. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having us. You are infinitely loved, each and every one of you. Be well, dear ones.
A Syrian blessing, a tidal wave of blue ray light from the Syrian satellites in the Blue Nation. Syrians and Athella, we love you humans. Be in love.
Namaste. Thank you. Namaste. Whew. Wow. I think I'm out of breath. That was fantastic. Thank you, my beautiful friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
You know, before they left, I meant to say, tell Dr. Wayne Dyer we miss him in human form, but I know he's doing his work from a better place right now. We miss him.
He's part of the council.
I have no doubt. You know what, Christy? That doesn't surprise me.
Mm-hmm. Since everything is already evenly present everywhere, I'm sure that the consciousness of Wayne hears you, feels you, and is channeling your energy right now. Yeah, it's accessible. It's so accessible.
Oh, and tell Ram Dass we said hi too.
And Louise,
Right?
Yeah, right. Well, listen, I'm going to wind up here. Christie Whitman, go to ChristieWhitman.com and find out about her beautiful work that she does on a daily basis. I get every one of her emails, and she's just nonstop, love and beautiful. And Christina down in the Yucatan, Mexico, I believe I go down to Puerto Aventuras every other year and enjoy.
Yes.
The world's going to come out of the other side of this healthy, happy, and wafting in love.
That's right. Yes. Yes.
thank you, Carl, for having us on. It was an honor.
Oh my God, it was beautiful. Thank you, friends.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Namaste.
Bye, Chris.
Bye,
Bye.
dear C. Bye, Christy. Bye now. Love and light.
This has been another episode of World Awakenings, the fast track to enlightenment, with me, your host, Carl Gruber, a certified Law of Attraction life coach. I welcome you to tune in to each and every episode of this podcast, World Awakenings, as we open your mind, your heart, and your eyes to the fact that all of the world's population is now, more than ever, awakening to the truth of all things metaphysical and spiritual, and just how much they play an all-important role in our moment-to-moment, everyday life. Much love and light to you, my friend. Thank you for tuning in.